you move on in a way that makes sense, not only for peace activists, but for citizens. So I would like to address you, not only because, and not perhaps particularly because you are researchers, but because you are citizens. You are citizens. And then there are two or three sort of observations. One is language, which was already mentioned by Professor Shearer. I come from Norway, and there are very few who speak my language. Most of them are Old Norse in the United States, emigrating there 100 years ago. There were two Norwegians sitting there and speaking about the situation in the world and said, oh, there will never be peace in the world before we all speak the same language. And the other looked at him and said, how are we going to teach them all Norwegian? But speaking the same language is also a challenge between science and humanities, between politics and religions, between generations. It is a question of communication, of inspiration and connection, where language is the key. And therefore, my first point of observation is that we need to be careful about not limiting our capacity to express and to speak and to use only scientific language or activist language, but rather an inclusive language. The second point I want to make, sort of in introductory and warming up, was also implied in what I heard from